You don't need a perfect system to be productive.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but being an adult is mostly just inventing tiny hobbies to keep yourself mentally and emotionally stable. You know what would really spice up my Friday night? Embroidery.
One of the things that I struggle with the most is feeling like there simply aren't enough hours in the day. And it's hard to explain because it's not always about being busy. It's this invisible pressure to make every single minute count. And that's because somewhere along the way, we collectively decided that being productive meant optimizing every single second of our lives.
Listen, could I benefit from optimizing my workflow in Procreate? Yes. Will I? Probably not.
It's a difficult thing to put language to, and I think women especially feel the need to fill every single moment of their day. You answer emails while eating lunch, you listen to a podcast while folding laundry, you're mentally planning dinner on the drive home, and you're thinking about tomorrow before today is even over with. And then we inevitably can't do everything, and then the guilt shows up. And it's not because we did nothing, it's because we didn't do everything. We are so used to overloading our to do list that we're essentially setting ourselves up for failure. And I've realized that my most productive days don't actually happen when I'm trying to optimize every minute. They happen when I give my brain room to actually breathe.
I am someone who genuinely needs a creative outlet. I think part of me is always trying to recreate the feeling of being a kid with a brand new box of Crayolas. I'm sure you've heard people talking about the term analog hobbies. Call it a trend, call it whatever you want. I think the word analog has become a sort of buzzword, but the concept has been around for a long time, and I think will continue to be around because it is something that we inherently crave. You know what's never interrupted me with an ad? Watercoloring. We are all desperately looking for ways to slow our brains down, to make something with our hands, to stop staring at our phones for hours a day, and just remember what it feels like to be a person. And don't get me wrong, I am absolutely someone who resorts to watching a TV show or scrolling on social media. When I am on Instagram, I tell myself that I am cultivating whimsy and curating potential. It's more than that. It's a form of escapism, and I have something to switch my attention to. And while I enjoy doing it, I know that it's not always what's best for me. One of the biggest things that have helped to quiet my overstimulated brain is drawing. And I don't draw for the purposes of selling a print or posting it on social media. I draw something that just seems fun to draw. One of my favorite hobbies is just buying sketchbooks. I have sketchbooks with the first 3 pages filled out and then nothing after that. You gotta save the rest for a special occasion. I will use whatever medium I feel like I need in that moment. Like I'll do pencil or pen or colored pencil, and once in a while I'll do watercolor. Those forms are great for when I need to feel just a little bit more grounded and have to be doing something that is tangible. Traditional art is also a really great exercise for letting go of perfectionism because there's no undo button. It is just you and your poor decisions. Traditional art is like, hey, good luck to you. I hope you like that shape you just made because it is there forever. And I do still gravitate towards my iPad and drawing in Procreate. I'm very drawn to the freedom that it gives you, experimenting with brushes, changing colors, erasing the parts that I don't like. One of my favorite things about digital art is that as someone who is very affected by my space, I've become the kind of person who lights a candle before drawing. Dorothy and I need ambiance. I love that I don't have to drag out a bunch of different art supplies. I don't have to scrape paint off my countertops. I don't have to wear old paint clothes. I can just open my iPad and start. I don't have a mess to clean up. I have been learning embroidery the last few months. I really enjoy it. And my grandma always embroidered dish towels, and I wish I would have taken the time to sit down and learn from her when she was still alive. I wonder if older generations have less anxiety because certain aspects of their life were simpler. Maybe it's because they weren't checking their email while they were making soup. Anyway, I am very much a beginner. I have poked my fingers with needles more times than I care to admit, but there's something extremely relaxing about creating something one stitch at a time. It is not relaxing when your dog tries to eat the thread and you have to pry it from her mouth. Something I've been really trying to incorporate more into my week is just choosing silence. I almost always have a podcast or a YouTube video playing in the background while I'm working or cleaning. I really like background noise, so it's really tough to not do that. I've read that giving your brain quiet moments really helps to regulate your nervous system and improves your ability to focus. And I'm like, dag nabbit, that does make sense. I've been trying to intentionally leave little pockets of silence throughout my week. I'm not doing it every day. We're not taking a vow of silence here. It gives my brain enough time to finish one thought before I throw half a dozen more at it. One thing that has also really helped with the guilt of like not accomplishing enough is keeping a really simple journal or day planner. I'm not doing like a dear diary, I watched a man vacuum his sidewalk today. It's just more of a running list of things that I did during the day. I do like a checklist because it's super satisfying to mark things off a list, but sometimes it's a little disheartening when you look at the items that you didn't get to check off. It's because our brains have this annoying habit of remembering everything that we didn't accomplish and completely forgetting everything that we actually did. You know how, like, in school, they would tell you, like, you'll remember things much better if you take notes while you're listening. It's kind of like that when you're given an open ended question of, what did you do today? You tend to include more things than you would put on a regular to do list. You might say, well, I woke up at 7, I made breakfast, I answered emails, I went to work, I ran a few errands after work, I made dinner, I took the dog for a walk, I folded laundry. We tend to disregard everyday tasks and act like somehow they don't count because we might not put things like that on our to-do list. Thinking about what you did during the day makes you kind of go, oh yeah, I did do more than I thought. It's because you didn't do nothing. Okay, you likely accomplished a lot, and it's important to simply start acknowledging how much you've already done. I also try to think about what I actually want to spend time on and what is important to me, but also balance that with the things that I need to do, like maintaining my house, and also how much effort is needed to do some of these things. To have time to do fun, creative things means that I have to spend less time doing the not so fun things like household things, doing the dishes, cleaning, laundry. So, what I do is I set a timer, I pretend like I'm in Squid Game, and I do it as fast as humanly possible. I try not to think about it too much, and I just go, go, go for whatever I set the timer for. Usually it's like 20 minutes at a time, and then that helps me get the everyday things done a lot faster. I also use like positive reinforcement and treats. So I kind of barter with myself and tell myself, okay, you can draw the thing that you want to draw after you put all your dishes away. You can sit on the couch, have a glass of wine, embroider the night away after you send your email. Regardless of what your goals are, make sure that the things you're doing to stay productive actually works for you and doesn't result in any kind of feelings of shame. And if you are looking for ways to slow down, I do have a Patreon, and you can join my snail mail club. I also have a digital art club as well, or you can join both. And as always, subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can stay up to date on all my latest videos.